मंगलमय मंगल करण वीतराग विज्ञान नमो ताहि जाते भये अरिहंतादि महान करि मंगल करि हो महा ग्रंथ करन को काज जाते मिले समाज सब पावे निज पद राज. We will also do the Mangalacharan of chapter 3. So निज भाव सदा सुखद अपनों कर
नो करो प्रकाश
जो
जो
भव दुख निको करिए सत्तानाश. So this chapter discusses the miseries of this mundane existence, and that has been discussed from three angles. One, from the karmic bondage point of view. What are the effects when there is a rise of certain karmas? What the soul undergoes through? That is the first perspective. The second is from the embodied modification. Like there are beings, one sense, two sense, three sense. So what they undergo, what kind of miseries they undergo. And the third is a general characteristics of miseries. Okay. So from three perspective, Pandit Totamalji has tried to explain the nature of miseries that a mundane existent soul undergoes. In Chedala also we studied in the first Dal what are the miseries of all the four states of existence. Okay. So why acharyas and scholars want to depict as the miseries of the four states of existence? Because everyone feels that they are happy. Everyone is there in comfort zone. Nobody wants to come out of their comfort zone, right? Jia, now you have your friend circle, right? So if you meet them and discuss with them what they do and what you do, there is a difference, right? They want to follow their instinct and you want to follow Jinendra Bhagwan's direction. So there is a difference. So that we have been doing from time immemorial. And this is the opportunity that we have to got to listen to the Jinendra Bhagwan's preachings and act accordingly, design our life accordingly, right? And then we will get liberated. So you are into such a I would say phase of life, not this life, but since time immemorial, we have been wandering from species to species, and we are now into an opportunity where we have, if we put in right efforts in the right direction, then we can get out of this vicious circle of life and death. This is the opportunity that we carry, and this is the weightage of all our preachings. So, uh, so Todarmalji also explained what are the miseries suffered by each soul from time immemorial. And all these discussions are related to us. It's not that there is a particular soul and he is going through. No, we all have gone through these phases. And so remembering these situations that we have been, we if we realize those miseries, then we are in a position to tap the opportunity that we have got. Otherwise our life was also going the same way. 2 years ago it was all same, no problem, everything was fine, there is no misery. Because because of our auspicious karma we have got all the good things in life, right? We are those privileged who are born in a Jain family. So unless and until you have a heavy load of auspicious karma, you don't get this religion, right? So that was the first hurdle. Then in Jain also there are many sects: Digambar, Svetambar, Terapanthi, Bispanthi, Taranpanthi, and there are many, around 20-25 sects are there. Then also you are getting the uh, right God, true scriptures, and true monks. That was again a rare. Then getting into it, then developing an interest to study this. And even if you get an interest, you need the means to understand those things, right? So all these opportunities are very rare, and we have got this just because of our past good deeds. Okay. Now the challenge is that, okay, with past good deeds, with our punya karma, we have got all these associations. There is no doubt about that. But if we utilize it for our welfare, if we utilize it to break the cycle of life and death, if we utilize it to manifest right belief, right knowledge, and right conduct, then it makes sense. Otherwise, it is another addition to our infinite birth and death that we have taken, right? So, uh, the root cause of miseries have been explained. What are the sufferings that, according to the rise of karmas, that a soul undergoes, that also has been explained. And then, from one sense to five sense being, what are the miseries they undergo? From that perspective, also it is being explained here. So, understanding this will propel you to put in more efforts, become more serious, right? Because it's directly connecting to our purpose in life. We want to be permanently happy. We don't want temporary happy. If there is a rise of punya, we are happy. And when the pap rises, then we are unhappy. So we don't want our happiness and unhappiness to be dependent on any external factor. Because our inherent nature is full of bliss. Each of us is full of infinite attributes. Okay? So we are born to enjoy. We are born to lead. We are born to be happy. You know? So this is the legacy that we are carrying forward. This is what we have inherited from our Parmestis, you know. Now the challenge is that we also follow in their footsteps, understand the scriptures very nicely, and apply it in our day-to-day life, and you will see that there is no problem in life. All these has been created because of our delusion, because of our wrong belief, because of our imagination, because of our expectations. Okay. Otherwise, there is no sorrow in this world, you know. So this is something, if you if you relate this to somebody, they will say you are mad. But no, this is the fact. This is the fact. Okay. So I gave you one homework. How many of you have done it? Oh, good, good. Okay. Who else is there? Rekha, you have done it? I don't think so. Okay. So two of you have done it, so I should discuss it. Otherwise, I thought I will give again this homework. But okay, you relate me, Amitaji, first.
Um, I have millions and millions of examples when
Hmm.
I have been all these things because I've lived so long.
Hmm.
And so I can tell you one of the most recent ones, like when I took the test, the objective test. And so the way I read the question, I would answer it. And I would find it in the textbook. I would spend a good few hours in taking the test. I would locate the exact example, and then and even though I've been a teacher and I have set these kind of tests, so I know that there are limitations to how these tests work, because in order to make them objective, they have to have only one right answer.
Yes.
But in reality, there can be many right answers. And so when you take a test like this and your comprehension and the comprehension of the test taker doesn't match, and you give an answer and it's wrong, and then right away I wrote to Samir Bhai and I said, Samir Bhai, this answer is here, look, this is wrong. And so in in spite of all that I have experienced in life, I should have just, and because I'm older, I should have been more like gentle in my response to getting the test wrong. That's how I responded. So even in that simple example, all the kashais are there.
Yes.
Krodman, Maya, and Lob. All
Yes.
of them are there.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. So, uh, the situation demanded the passions to arise, right? And it
Mhm.
arose. Now, where would your effort be in this situation?
So my effort would be to do my best, you know, comprehend the best I know, and then not be so concerned about whether it was right or wrong, as long as I have learned, because that's the goal of Paramagamana's
Right.
for me
Right.
to learn.
So I'll give you one more perspective to it. Like,
Hmm.
instead of becoming a doer, I am a knower,
Hmm.
right? So when I am a knower, how does it matter whether passions are rising or not rising? I am
Hmm.
not a doer, right? So we have to settle things at that level, that we are not the doer. The passions happens on its own. Of course, there are instrumental causes behind that, but those are instrumental causes, right? And whatever passions has arise because we were not able to comprehend the things in the right perspective.
Right.
If you would have been able to comprehend the things in right perspective, there would be a balance. You would not blame anybody, right? On the
Hmm.
contrary, you will take positives from it,
Hmm.
right? So just because you could not balance, right? That's why the passions erupted.
Hmm.
And in that situation, if would have been balanced, you would know that certain things has happened, but you will be in equanimity at that point of time. You are not reacting, you are absorbing, you are knowing. Absorbing means knowing, not going beyond knowing and becoming oneness with it, mindness in it, doer of that and enjoyer of that, right?
Right.
So there was a fine line between the passions and our knowledge. Knowledge includes our soul, right? Knowledge and soul are one team only, right? Knowledge is the attribute and the soul is the substance. So there was a fine line, okay? So we are into this line. And from this line, there is another line going on where these all passions are erupting. That's a different channel, right? So I am on the knowledge channel because I am a soul. And that is a karmic channel. Uday Dhara,
Hmm.
Karma Dhara, it's that channel. And in that channel, passions would erupt from time to time, all the time, all the time.
Hmm.
No problem. And we are not the doer of that.
Hmm.
This is the icebreaker, right? We are not the doer of that. So if it is intense passion or it is a mild passion, it is an auspicious sentiment or an inauspicious sentiment, I am the knower. So this settles down everything and you are able to manifest that balance. Okay. So you think on these lines further in your day-to-day life, and I hope you will be able to connect better. Okay. You'll
Thank you, sir.
be able to perform better. Good.
Thank you.
Now, Himali, you share your experience.
So, like Amitaji said, I also have tons and tons of experience. When I sat down to think about it, I was shocked that this has been me, and in my case also, sir, largely whether it is anger, whether it is pride, I could not think of too many examples of deceit. But then when I thought really hard, I thought that in so many small ways I've been, deceiving people. And that too for such silly and stupid things, that I felt ashamed of myself. So anger, so sometimes and most times I think anger for me erupts when I see inequality. Whether it is in office, whether it is at home. Like for instance, both my husband and me work, you know, he actually goes by the vehicle, he has that comfort, he goes to his own office. I take the auto, the train. I kind of always compare myself that I put myself through so much hardship. But when we come back home, whether it is the responsibility of the kids, whether it is, cleaning up in the kitchen after dinner, all of that comes on me. So I keep wondering that why am I being put through this when I'm the one who's more tired? At the same time, pride also, now, after this course, I've kind of been able to reduce that sharpness. But so, like, for instance, when, I do a whole lot of stories, where I'm exposing scams, like, for instance, the NAG stories that I did, after which the Prime Minister set up a committee. So I was feeling like I have conquered the world. The Prime Minister has woken up, something dramatically big is happening, because of what I have unearthed over some 18 stories or something. And, I literally used to walk with a spring under my feet saying that, yes, this is what it is to be a true journalist. This is what it takes, And then in my own mind, when I would read somebody else's stories and I would be like, what is this? This is fluff, and what I'm doing is the real stuff. So, and when I said about deceit, so like, small things when if I have to go somewhere and 20 auto rickshaw drivers are not coming, I'll tell them, oh, I want to go like a little farther away, but then I'll get off in the way where I actually have to go. And I'll say, sorry, bhaiya, humko idhar hi utar. But yeah, I mean, I'm just saying that, these are some of the examples. And plus, I've all my life been very competitive. Um, so whether when I went on a scholarship for sheepning or in school when, I wouldn't be okay with less marks. I would go and argue with my teacher saying that, why did you cut my mark here? This is exactly what you had told in class and I remember and I had made notes. And now you yourself are saying this is not right. So I've been very competitive and, when I see that my kids lack that competitiveness, I kind of get really, when my son loses a chess competition and I'll be like, I took you all the way to Borivali and for this, you didn't even win a silver. So, so all of this has been playing on my mind and, all the time thinking that, I'm the doer, I'll be the enjoyer if he wins the medal. So yeah, I mean, all of this has really made me, but I'm so happy. So with this course, I have felt very liberated. Whether it is times when, I also take up some freelance. I've started taking up some freelance projects. I've written in my CC1 about the financial issues that we faced in our family. So I took up some freelance work because as a journalist, we don't earn too much in India. So to pay off a few things, I started taking up. So, earlier I used to feel why is the government not paying this money, after the work I've done. But now I feel when it has to come, it'll come. Somehow it'll have to come, or I'm not meant to get it. So in a way, this course has been very liberating. But yeah, I'm still work in progress. I think a lot needs to.
So even after 5 years, it will be work in progress.
So I was thinking I'll rejoin the course. I'm not going to stop. I'm sure I'll get a different perspective when I study again.
Yes. But don't worry, we will keep on upgrading. As the time goes, we also upgrade things. So, but this is like you keep on studying till the end of your life. It is such a thing that because you when you are using this understanding in your practical day-to-day life, each day is a new experience. So you never get bored of it. The more you are able to apply, the more you are succeeding, the more it makes more interesting. And the things are very simple. Things are very simple. To be happy is very simple. But we have made it so complicated because of taking things as an academics and not as a practical learning. So there is the difference. So there are a lot of scriptures and there are a lot of perspectives involved everywhere. But the solution is one. Problems are many, but solution is one. You have to just take shelter in yourself, and things will automatically starts unfolding. It will get better over a period of time. These passions, the first is to get rid of delusion, wrong belief, right? And once the delusion goes away, the passions which are erupting because of conduct deluding karma, right? And there is a gradual sequence in that to get eliminated. It's not going to get eliminated in one moment, but delusion gets eliminated in one moment. One moment ago, you are a wrong believer. The next moment, you are a right believer. So the belief changes in one moment, but there is also a work in progress before that. And we are onto it right now. Okay. We are very much into it, and we are very serious about it to get rid of delusion in the first place, because it is a root cause of all miseries. So a fan is moving, and if you switch off, right, you switch off, then what happens? The connection to the fan has gone off, but fan is still moving because of inertia of motion, right? In science, you must have studied one concept called inertia of motion. So the things which are on movement, it goes on moving for some time, but actually it is slowing down, right? So similarly, conduct deluding karma, that is more related to the passions. So the passions will go away gradually, right? But the first thing is you have to get rid of the delusion. So whatever discussions are there in terms of passions, before that you have to add delusion. It is not to get rid of passion is our objective. Our objective is, first objective is to get rid of delusion. And along with delusion, a chunk of passion goes off. Anantanubandhi Kashai. The passions which were binding infinite worldly existence, that goes away. Now, whatever passions are remaining, 3 levels, those are very mild compared to the infinite passion, Anantanubandhi Kashai, right? So to get rid of Anantanubandhi Kashai, you did not work on the passion. You have to work on the delusion. Because delusion and this passion, first level of passion, okay, Anantanubandhi Kashai, goes off simultaneously, right? So our endeavor would be to get rid of delusion, and then passions will go away on its own, right? And in all this journey, we are an observer and not doer. From fourth stage, spiritual stage, which is the stage where you manifest right belief, from there to 12th, where you are completely eliminating the passions, vitrakta, you are completely manifesting passionlessness, right? So from 4th to 12th, there is a journey, but we are not the doer, right? So that is also not in our mind or on our head. How I will become a monk, how I can go to a jungle and practice meditation. No, nothing, because it's all going to happen automatically. You at your end try best to get rid of delusion, right, at the first place. That is should be our primary factor. So there will be discussions on passions, but passions is not the problem, because even a right believer has passions, right? So passion is not hindering us, but the delusion is hindering us in the first place. So first get rid of delusion, and along with delusion, the majority of passions goes away. So how much percentage would go away, Amitaji? If you are manifesting right belief, then along with that, Anantanubandhi Kashai goes away. So what is the weightage of Anantanubandhi Kashai in the total universe of passion? What is
99, according to you, 99.99%.
Yes. It's only one drop in an ocean that is left over. So majority of our struggle is at this level. And once we manifest right belief, things become easy. Without support, we are fighting now. And then you are already getting a support of your soul, right? So then things become more easy. So this is the time that you put in maximum efforts. And in terms of efforts, there are only 3 things. You have to study, analyze, contemplate, and arrive at a decision. The moment you decide on something, job is over. Now those things will take on its own time to come into the practical applications. Okay, there will always be a time lag, and that depends again on your efforts. Okay, so lot of things goes into it when it comes into practical application. But having said that, at the understanding level, you can do is you understand it nicely. You come at a decision, and then that is your responsibility is over. Okay. So whatever comes to our knowledge screen, we have to analyze it, right? We have to analyze it in the right sense, and then things will happen on its own. Okay. So nice sharing your, looking at your experience. I also feel very happy that you are putting efforts in the right direction. Okay. Maltiji, have you done the homework? You want to share?
I was thinking about it. I've not crystallized it yet. There are so many experiences. I'm choosing which to share. I
Okay.
can do that later.
No problem. No problem. Nice. You have tried, you have thought, that is enough. Okay. So let's move on. Page number 76. I'll make you a co-host, Emali. Yes. So on page number 76, we were discussing the misery due to charitra moh, conduct deluding karma. Okay. And misery is due to charitra moh, that is conduct deluding karma. And in that we discussed 4 major passions. Okay. Anger, pride, then deceit and greed. And after that, of course, I explained you only anger, and rest were given as homework because it were on similar lines. And then we moved on to the quasi passions, 9 quasi passions. Okay. Uh, Laughter, then liking, disliking, grief, then fear, then disgust, and then the 3 types of carnal desires, right? So all these discussions were over, and there are some further discussions on this, and then we will get into the what would be the right means, the solution. Okay. So from here we have to start, and if the purpose for which, from there you have to start. Gia, you read.
And if the purpose for which the passional dispositions has occurred gets accomplished, then my this misery may end and I may become happy. Thinking so, he arranges various means for getting the purpose accomplished and treats it to be the means of ending that misery. Now, here the misery which is caused due to passional dispositions is really true, and one obviously himself suffers from such misery. But the means which he adopts are false. Why so? This is being explained below. In anger to harm other, in pride to exalt self by humiliating others, in deceit to accomplish one's object through deceptive means, in greed to acquire the favorite thing, in laughter the continuation of cause of laughing, in liking the continuance of the association of favorite thing, in disliking the disassociation of unfavorite thing, in grief the elimination of the cause of sorrow, in fear the elimination of the cause of fear, in disgust vanishing the cause of disgust, in male sex passion uniting sexually with female sex, in female sex passion uniting sexually with male sex, in neuter sex passion uniting sexually with both male and female sex, such purposes are found. If these are fulfilled, then by mitigation of passion's misery may come to an end and one may become happy, but the accomplishment of those purposes is not under the control of efforts made by him. It depends on destiny. Because one is seen making various efforts, but the object is not fulfilled. Moreover, making of efforts is also not under one's own control. It depends on destiny. Because one thinks of making various efforts, but not a single effort is seen materializing.
Stop. So you see, when there is a rise of passional disposition, okay, you suffer from misery, and you try to do, you put in efforts to fulfill your those desires. Okay, so when there is a rise of anger, you want to harm other. This desire crops up, so there is a passion, there is a desire, right? So the passion is anger and your desire is to harm other. The passion is pride, you want to praise yourself, right, by humiliating others. Then when there is a rise of deceit passion, you want to accomplish one's object through deceptive means. Okay, similarly all the passions are there, and because of those passions you have a desire to fulfill things according to that passion. Okay, so uh, fulfilling of desire is not possible, as we have discussed earlier, that if one desire is fulfilled, there is another desire that crops up, and when that gets fulfilled, there is another one crops up. So fulfilling of desire is not a solution. Okay, but before that, whatever efforts that this mundane existence soul does is all false. Why? So there are 5 points to it. The first point, which Jia already read, if these are fulfilled, then by mitigation of passions, mitigation means subsidence, okay? Subsidence of passions, misery may come to end and one may become happy. But the accomplishment of those purpose is not under the control. Like you want to, there is a rise of anger passion, you want to harm other. But again, harming other is not in your hand, because the other fellow's punya and pap is there with him. If he has got a rise of punya karma, even if you try to harm him, he will not get harmed. Right? So it is not under our control. Okay. So, but the accomplishment of those purpose is not under the control of efforts made by him. It depends on destiny, bhavitavya. Okay, because one is seen making various effort, but the object is not fulfilled. Moreover, making of efforts is also not under one's own control. It depends on destiny, because one thinks of making various efforts, but not single effort is seen materializing, right? So you think many times that I will complete my homework by 10th, right? Example. But many things comes up in between and it never gets completed. So things doesn't happen according to our wish. Okay, it is not in our control. It happens according to its destiny. Although we might intentionally, purposely, we might put in efforts with good intent, but still the work will be accomplished according to our past karmas. Okay, so if there is a rise of punya karma, whatever you wish, it will happen that way. If there is a rise of or inauspicious karma, even if you are wishing and putting best of effort, still the things won't succeed. Okay, so in the outside world, there is no role that we play. We are just a puppet in the chains of the karma theory, right? So the whether to manifest the passions or not, right, there you can work. You can work to get rid of delusion in the first place by putting in it the right efforts. And once the delusion goes away, the other passions gradually goes away. Okay. So the first problem is the whatever solution he tries to do is or false. And this is the first point. The second point. And if by Kaktilya Nyay. Now what is this Kaktilya Nyay? It's a story, of coincidence. A tree was there and there were fruits hanging on the branches of the tree. Okay, and a crow was seated on that and he tried to fly, and that fruit from the branch fell downward, and there was a person who was doing that, what you called, उवासा को क्या बोलते हैं?
Yawn.
Yawn, yeah, yawn, right. So there was a person who was doing yawn and it fell on his mouth. Now, such a coincidence. The branch got a movement because the crow left that branch, right? That was the first instance. Here, the fruit which was ripe, that got fallen down. and there was a person who is doing yawn in the ground on the ground, and that fruit fell on his mouth opened up, and that fruit fell on his mouth. Now, such a coincidence is called Katyalik Nyay, coincidence. Okay. So, and if by coincidence, the destiny be in accordance with one's objective, what you desire, your destiny is also same. And the effort made be also in congruence with it. And by it, even if the objective is achieved, then some passion related to that objective may get mitigated, may get subsidized, but there is no end to it. So long as the objective was not accomplished, till then only the passion related to that objective was persisting. And the moment the particular objective got filled, at the same time, passion related to another objective, okay, get generated. Even for a moment, it does not become free from anxiety, right? So, working to fill up your desire is not a solution. Okay. Working to fill up your desire is not a solution. So then how does the desire gets eliminated? Jia, how you will give a solution? How we can get rid of this desire? Because of desire, we are manifesting these passions, right? So how to get rid of this desire? By fulfilling the desire or by doing something else? What would be your solution to that?
I think not acting on desires is important in this.
But when the desire crops up, you have to act, right? Now your desire to understand religion propel you to join this Parmagam honors course. Otherwise, who in the world, in this world, a fool will only join this course? No, but your desire that I want to understand. My parents told me, my dada dadi told me, you get into this. This is the only thing that needs to be done, right? So you have a desire, right? So according to desire, these things happens, right? So what would be the solution? If fulfilling the desire is not a solution, then how to get rid of the desire? What is the alternate? Anyone else? Now the question is passing to open to all. Common sense, nothing very rocket science. Yeah? Anybody? Himali?
Be the knower of the desires.
Pardon?
Be the knower, not the doer.
Okay, okay, very good, good try. The problem is, how do we fulfill our desire, right? Working according to desire is not the solution, and desire keeps on cropping up. So what you said, keep become a knower of desire, that is the ultimate. But in terms of process at which we want to now do, to get rid of desire, so how not to get
Once we keep reading the scriptures, we come to know, we come close to the Jainism, we understand the truth.
Mhm. Okay.
Then we come to know that we are not getting satisfied by the desires, actually.
Yes, yes,
When
yes.
one is satisfied, the other crops up. Then this is endless program. So,
Right, right, right. But my question is, how to get rid of desire? What you have said is correct, right?
don't have to think of getting rid of the desire, sir. It will go off automatically, sir.
So it will go up automatically when?
I think when we recognize and take refuge in our own soul.
This is what I wanted to answer. When you take shelter in your soul, the desire does not crop up. Why does not crop up desire? Because when you take shelter in your soul, there is a level of passionlessness that is manifested. Shuddhata, purity, the purity. To the extent the purity is manifested, like along with right belief, the infinite passion goes away. The first level, okay. Anantanubandhi kashai ka abhav. So that much vitrakta has manifested. And to the extent the vitrakta has manifested, to that extent, desire doesn't crop up. So Anantanubandhi has gone. So Anantanubandhi desire has also gone. Now the three passions are there. So desire of those three passions are still there. Okay. So desire and passions are one category only. Okay. The moment the Anantanubandhi Kasai goes, the Anantanubandhi desire doesn't crop up. Okay. But still, the three other passions are there. To that extent, the desires are there. Okay. So your only one point solution would be to take shelter in your soul. With that, the purity will evolve. And to the extent the purity is evolved, to the same extent, the passions, the desires does not arise at all. And that is the only way to get rid of desires and passions. Okay. So to get rid of desires and passions, you don't have to do anything in the desires and passion. But you have to, on the contrary, you have to take shelter in your soul. And when you take shelter in your soul, the manifestation, the pure manifestation that has happened, that is the level the desire doesn't crop up. Okay. So this will be the solution always, once and for all. In terms of solution, we have only one solution: right belief, right knowledge, and right conduct. And manifesting right belief means taking shelter in your soul. Okay. Your inherent nature. Right. So that will be the solution across all infinite problems. The problems are infinite. Solution is one: take shelter in your soul. Now, to take shelter in your soul, you have to understand the nature of soul, right? The functions of soul, its intricacies, its characteristics, So the more detail you get of the soul, the more you are in a better position to experience it, right? So this is the journey that we are all undergoing. And this is the only way that we could get to the self-realization. Okay. So this is the second point that we were discussing. Just so even for a moment, it does not become free from anxiety. Okay, even for a moment. So there is no solution of fulfilling any desire. One desire gets fulfilled, another will crop up. Another gets fulfilled, another will crop up. Even for a moment, he does not become free from anxiety. Okay, so this is a very established truth, and this is also an experienced truth. Everyone must have observed that once you want to have an Apple iPhone, you get an Apple iPhone, then you want now new dress. Now, once you get the new dress, then now you want something new. So the desire keeps on increasing, right? When you don't have money, you don't think of buying a scooter even. When you get that level of money, and then you think of buying a car. When you get that level of money, buying a car, then you want to have a very luxurious car, Mercedes Benz. Then you buy a Mercedes Benz, then you have desire to buy another costlier car. So wants are unlimited. There is no stoppage of desire. Only way is you take shelter in your soul. Our monks, they are so happy they don't even keep one thread of cloth. Not a single thread also there in their body, because they don't have desire. They have captured everything, right? They have conquered everything, not captured, but conquered their desires, by taking shelter in the soul. And that's why they are monk, because they don't want anything from the worldly existence. They want to just dwell in their self. And then jungle is the only place where you don't get disturbed. No family, nothing doing, only concentrating on the self. Okay. So this is how the thing will undergo. Just as someone was thinking ill of other and the other got harmed, then by becoming angry on some other person, he started wishing ill of him. So first he was thinking ill of somebody, first person, and he got harmed. So now he is thinking ill of second person, right? And when that also fellow will get harmed, then he will think of third person. Or when his power was less, then he used to wish ill of younger persons. And when his power increased, then he started wishing ill of elderly persons. Okay. Similarly, when the objective which he wanted to accomplish through pride, deceit, greed, etc. gets accomplished, then he wishes to accomplish another objective by creating the feeling of pride, etc. in other persons. Okay. When his power was less, he wanted to accomplish the smaller objective. When his power increased, then the desire to accomplish bigger objective got originated. It gets evolved. If there be any limitation of the objective of his passions, then he may become happy by the accomplishment of that particular objective. But there is no limitation. Desire goes on increasing. The same is stated in Atmanusashan. Right? So what is being said in the Atmanusashan? Asha Garta. Asha means hope, desire. Okay. The pit, Garth means pit, gadda, hole, big hole. The pit of desire exists in each and every being. Every human being has got desire in it, right? The beings are infinite, times infinite in number. All of them are found having desires, and the magnitude of that well, that pit, of that well of desires is such that in that single pit, the whole universe appears to be just like an atom. So desires is so much and object available is only little bit. Now who will get what share? So we are now says 10 people in this class. Okay. And say there is one laddu. Okay. So your desire is to have that 10 laddus, but you are only getting one. Out of that one, if we divide among the 10 people, you will get just 1/10 of that laddu. So how your desire will get fulfilled? Because you wanted 10 laddu in the first place. So you wanted 10 laddu and there was only one laddu. And in that one laddu, all will have share. So you will get only that much. So your desires cannot be satisfied. That is the conclusion. Okay. The whole universe appears to be just like an atom. Further, the universe is only one. Then tell here in this instant how much portion would fall in whose share. Hence, whatever desire of objects one has, it is all worthless. It will never get fulfilled. Next paragraph. The desire never gets accomplished. Hence, even on fulfillment of objective. So this is the 6th point. So the first paragraph was one first point. If these are fulfilled, what is the first point about? What are the solution that a soul undergoes? Okay. If there are fulfilled, if these are fulfilled, that is the first point. The second one was Kaktalik Nyay, coincidence. Okay. The third one, when the power is less, he wanted to accomplish more. Then the fifth one, if there is any limitation of the objective in his passions, then he may become happy. Okay. So that was the 5th point, that is Atmanushashan slok. Now the 6th point coming up. The desire never gets accomplished. This is the last of the point of the solution that a mundane existent soul undergoes for the desire that crops up. Okay, 6 points. So whatever he does, is the solution is all false. Okay, and then of course we will be looking at the what would be the right solution. Okay, the next paragraph. So this is the 6th point. The desire never gets accomplished. Hence, even on fulfillment of an objective, the misery does not come to an end. The misery come to an end. Okay. Or if one passion disappears, then immediately another passion crops up. For example, there be many persons to beat one person. If one stops beating, then some other starts beating. Similarly, there are various types of passions to create misery to this jiva, and when anger is not there, then pride crops up. When pride is not there, then angers etc. crop up. In this way, the existence of passion is always there. None is found without passion even for a moment. Okay. Hence, even on meeting any purpose of any passion, how can the misery come to an end? Okay. Even on getting a objective done, getting your desire fulfilled. Okay, one desire gets fulfilled, how can the misery come to an end? Because there is another desire, there is another desire. So misery does not come to end. And one's intention is to accomplish all purposes of all passions. If this happens, then he can be happy, but it can never happen. Therefore, psychically, okay, therefore, psychically means intentionally, okay, he always remains miserable. In this way, by fulfilling the objective of passions and ending the misery, he wants to be happy, but this means is also false, because desires cannot be fulfilled, passions cannot be work according to passions cannot be accomplished. This is the fact, and this we have to accept. So this solution is false. Okay, then what is the real remedy? Now is coming the right solution. So now you, Jia, you pay attention. I asked you this question, what would be the remedy to get rid of desire? Okay. So this, we are just considering the desires that crop up due to the rise of conduct deluding karma. Okay. So when we discuss conduct deluding karma, we are discussing passions. Okay. When we were discussing Jnanavaran and Darshanavaran, knowledge obscuring and perception obscuring, then it was sensual pleasures. Okay. So desires are of four types. Okay, that conclusion we will come up when it comes up, but now we are considering only passions. Okay, so it has been written from the perspective of passion. So then what is the real remedy? When through right belief and knowledge, correct faith and knowledge are acquired, then good and bad feelings gets removed, and by their strength only the fruition of charitra moh gets reduced. Okay, by manifesting right belief, the anantanubandhi kasai goes off. The level the anantanubandhi kasai goes off, the charitra moh gets reduced. Okay, so your desire gets reduced, and that is the only solution. When this happens, then passions are destroyed, and the miseries caused by them may end, and thereafter no objective remains. Okay, so when you get rid of all the impurities, you manifest all the purities, then there will not be any passions remaining. And when the passions are not there, when the desires are not there, the miseries are also not there. Okay, and thereafter no objective remains. You have become now passionlessness, complete passionlessness, purna vitrakta. Okay, that is in the 12th stage of spiritual development. Thus, on being free from anxiety, one can be extremely happy. Therefore, right belief, etc. So, right belief, right knowledge, right conduct, only are the true means of getting rid of this misery. So, what would you start with? Right? First, you will manifest right conduct or right knowledge. Amitaji, what would you first try to do?
Right belief.
Why? Why not right conduct first and right knowledge?
Because if the once the belief changes, then the knowledge and the conduct will follow.
Right. Because belief is the leader. Right belief is the leader. You know, is the leader of the path of liberation. Monia karma is the king of all karma. And Darshan Monia and Charitra Monia are the two divisions of Monia karma. So first we need to get rid of Darshan Monia, faith deluding karma. Okay. So if you want to get rid of faith deluding karma, you have to manifest right belief. And along with right belief, the first quadruplet of passions goes away, and to that extent you become happy. Right? Therefore, right belief, etc., only are the true means of getting rid of this misery. So, this karma is over. Monia karma is over. First, we discussed darshan monia, then charitra monia. Now, the next karma is coming up is antarai karma, obstructive karma. Okay. Now, we will read this. So, Rekha, you read.
misery caused by the rise of antray karma, obstructive karma, and release from it. And owing to the rise of moha, deluding karma, the zeal of donating, gaining, enjoying, re-enjoying, and increasing energy arises in this jeev. But due to the rise of antray karma, obstructive karma, all this cannot materialize. Then extreme agitation is caused. Hence, this itself is obviously misery. The means that we adopt to get rid of this misery is that whatever external causes of obstruction comes to his mind, he makes effort to remove the same, but this means is false. Even on making efforts, the obstruction takes place owing to the rise of antray karma. And due to kshayoksham of antray karma, no obstruction is caused, even in the absence of effort. Therefore, the root cause of obstruction is antray karma. For example, a man beats a dog by a stick. The dog in vain develops envy towards the stick. Similarly, obstructions are caused to this jiva by external living and non-living objects due to the instrumental cause of antray karma. This jiva in vain develops envy toward those external objects. The other external objects may like to create obstruction to him, but obstruction may not be caused, and other objects may not like to create obstruction to him, but obstruction may be caused. Therefore, it is deduced that the other substance are not the controlling factors. Why should one fight with those which have no effect? Therefore, adopting this means is also false. What then is the real means? The prompture, which was caused by desire owing to misbelief, ends on attaining of right belief, etc. And by attainment of right belief, etc., only the fruition of antray karma decreases. Then the desire vanishes and the power of the soul increases. In consequence, that misery ends at imperturbable bliss is evolved. Hence, right belief, etc., is only the right means.
So the first line in the Antray Karma, just see one word is used, zeal, zeal. You know, what is zeal? Zeal is enthusiasm, utsa, and owing to the rise of monia. So without monia, all other karmas are not able to give any fruits. Okay. Along with monia karma, they become deadly, Without monia, they have no power. So monia karma is the king. Without king, the soldiers don't have any power. So owing to the rise of moh, that is, of course, faith deluding karma, the zeal, utsa, enthusiasm of donating, dan, gaining labh, enjoying bhog, re-enjoying upabhog, and increasing energy, virya, dan, labh, bhog, upbhog, virya. These are the 5 divisions of antray karma. So you want to donate, but you are not able to donate because the rise of antray karma. Okay. And increasing energy, virya, arises in this jiv. But due to the rise of antray karma, obstructive karma, all these cannot materialize. Then extreme agitation is caused, anxiety is caused, restlessness is caused, perturbedness is caused. Hence, this itself is obviously misery. Okay. And the means that add up to get rid of this misery is that whatever external causes of obstruction come to his mind, he makes effort to remove the same. But this means is false. Very good example coming up in the next paragraph. A man beats a dog by a stick. The dog in vain develops envy towards the stick. Right? So the main cause was the man who has bitten the dog and not the stick, but the dog is insensible. So what he does, he develops envy towards the stick. He would attack the stick, but stick is a non-living thing. It doesn't get affected, right? Similarly, obstructions are caused to this jiva by external living and non-living objects. Okay, due to the instrumental cause of antarai karma, obstructive karma. This jiva in vain develops envy towards those external objects or external living beings. The other objects may like to create obstruction to him, but obstructions may not be caused, and other objects may not like to create obstruction to him, but obstruction may be caused. That means he is trying to explain that the external objects are not under our control, not under anybody's control. Okay, according to our punya and pap, they come into association and dissociation, right? Some association, good association comes up, and some good association goes away. It keeps on happening like that according to our rise of our own past karmas, okay, that are coming into fruition. So those are not in our control. Therefore, it is deduced that the other substances are not the controlling factors. Why should one fight with those which have no effect, right? Therefore, adopting this means is also false. So what is the true means? The prompture, okay? Again, the prompture that was zeal, enthusiasm, which was caused by desires owing to misbelief, delusion, okay? Wrong belief, ends on attainment of right belief, right knowledge, right conduct, okay? And by attainment of right belief, etc., only the fruition of antray karma decreases, the power of antray karma decreases, then the desire vanishes, okay, and the power of soul increases. In consequence, that misery ends and imperturbable, okay, nirakul, unperturbedness, okay, bliss is evolved. Hence, right belief is only the right means. So we come to only one solution every time when it comes to what is the right solution: right belief, right knowledge, right conduct. Okay. Now the next, misery caused by rise of Vedniya karma and release of it. Vedniya karma is feeling producing karma. Okay. So there are two types: pleasant feeling producing karma and unpleasant feeling producing karma. What are the effects when there is a rise of pleasant feeling producing karma and unpleasant feeling producing karma? That they are going to explain. It's a bit of interesting because our happiness and sorrow are related to it. Okay. So this karma is very important from that perspective. Although it's a non-obscuring karma, aghati karma, but along with monia, it becomes as good as ghati karma. Without monia, it has no power, zero. As we have seen in Aryant Bhagwan, the four obscuring karma has been destroyed, but four non-obscuring karma are there, but they are not able to manifest any kind of sorrow, misery, passions, nothing, because he is completely passionless, right? So this aghati karma are zero without monia karma, but along with monia, they become very powerful and deadly. Okay. So Vedniya karma is important. Just read it. Let's read it and then we will see. Malti ji, you read.
Yes, sir. Misery caused by rise of Vedaniya karma and release from it. Further, owing to rise of Vedaniya karma, the feeling producing karma, association of causes and happiness and misery takes place. Where various conditions are produced in the body itself, various types of external associations acting as instrumental cause to the conditions of the body are met with, and many associations of external things only are found. Then, due to rise of Asata Vedaniya karma, hunger, thirst, respiration, ache, disease, etc. are caused, and the association of external objects, that is extreme cold and hot weather, hot weathers, wind, bondages, etc., acting as instrumental cause of disagreeable conditions of the body are met with, and the association of foes, bad suns, and molecules with bad complexions, etc., are met with externally. So, due to moh, the feeling of disliking is caused in these objects. When these asata prakritis are in operative state, then the rise of moh is invariably of such order that due to which the jeev, becoming highly perturbed, wants to remove them. And so long as those objects are not removed, till then he remains miserable. All beings feel miserable in their association. Further, owing to rise of Sata Vedniya karma, the pleasant feeling producing karma, wholesomeness and vigorousness, etc., are found in the body, and associations of external objects, that is, eatables, drinkables, and pleasant weather, etc., acting as instrumental cause of agreeable conditions of the body, are met with. And the external associations of friends, obedient son, wife, servant, elephant, horse, wealth, grains, house, clothing, etc., are met with, and through moh, that is the delusion, the feeling of liking in these objects is caused. When these sata prakritis are in operative state, then the rise of moh, deluding karma, is invariably of such order that due to which the jeev feels happiness and wants their security. So long as those remain associated till then he feels happy. This feeling of happiness is just like a person who was suffering from many diseases, and by taking some treatment, he got one of his diseases subsided to some extent for some time. Then he believes himself to be happy in comparison to earlier condition, but in reality, it is not happiness. Similarly, this jeev was suffering too much from his miseries. By some means, he got one of his miseries subsided to some extent for some period only. Then he believes himself to be happy in comparison to earlier condition, but in spiritual sense, this is not happiness. Further, from whatever happens to him due to rise of asata, he feels unhappiness. So he makes efforts to remove it, and from whatever happens to him due to rise of sata, he feels happiness. So he makes effort of retaining it, but this effort is false. Firstly, nothing is under his control. It depends on the rise of Vedinya karma. All make efforts for removing asata and for retaining sata. But someone gets his purpose served either by making some effort or without any effort. Someone may not get this purpose served even after great efforts. Therefore, it is deduced that the means are not in his control. And if by chance he makes effort also, and rise of Vedanya karma is also in congruence to it, then for some time the cause of some particular type of asata subsides and the cause of sata may arise. There, also due to existence of moh, he becomes agitated by the desire of enjoying them. The desire of enjoying an object of enjoyment arises so long as the object is not obtained. Till then, he becomes agitated by its desire, and as soon as it is obtained, the desire of enjoying another object arises. Then he becomes unhappy due to that. For example, someone had the desire of tasting something. The moment he tasted it, the desire to taste and touch some other object arises. Or earlier, there may be the desire of enjoying only one object in a particular manner. So long as it is not obtained, till then its anxiety persists. And as soon as that enjoyment is over, the desire for enjoying it in another way arises. For example, someone wanted to see a woman. The moment he saw her, at the same moment, the desire of coition arises. And also while enjoying such kind of sensual pleasure, the anxiety of adopting other means is created. Then, leaving those means, he started adopting other means. There are also many types of anxiety. There also many types of anxieties are experienced. Is it not a fact that in making effort for obtaining wealth, a great degree of restlessness is experienced, and in doing business and observing precautions for keeping it safe? Moreover, the rise of asata vedanya continues in the form of hunger, thirst, cold, and hot states of body, and secretion of excreta and phlegm, etc. from the body. Jeev feels happy by their removal. Is this happiness? It is simply a remedial measure of the disease. So long as the hunger, etc. persists, till then the anxiety of removing them persists. As soon as one desire is fulfilled, some other desire crops up, and that creates agitation, and again hunger, etc. may arise. Then these create agitation. In this way, while making efforts by chance, asata may turn into sata. There also anxiety persists. Hence, only misery continues. Further, even the above mentioned state may not continue while making efforts. Further, even the above mentioned state may not continue. While making efforts, one may have such rise of asata that none of his efforts may succeed, and it may cause severe agony, which may be unbearable. Then, due to its agitation, one may become distracted. There he feels extreme sorrow. So in this world, the rise of Sata Vedanya is rarely found to someone due to the rise of some Punya Karma or auspicious karma. Most of the jivas are found having the rise of Asata Vedanya for a long time. Therefore, whatever effort one makes are false.
Stop. So we had a very long discussions on Vednya karma. So these Vednya karmas are of two types. Okay. So asata and sata. Okay. Asata is unpleasant feeling producing karma, and sata is pleasant feeling producing karma. So when there is a rise of sata Vednya karma, you get all the good objects in life, right? So now you can imagine whatever we are in stages of life, we are enjoying, we are getting so good associations, right? Just because our Sata Vidnya karma is also going on, right? So that's why we have got all the favorable association in this life. So this rise of pleasant feeling producing karma and unpleasant feeling producing karma, these are discussed in at three levels. So first one you see, uh, come to the beginning. I'll just help you to mark out also. Yes, right. So further, owing to the rise of Vedniya karma, association of causes of happiness and misery. So when there is a sata, causes of happiness will appear, and causes of, when there is a asata uday, there is a misery taking place. Their various conditions are produced in the body itself. So this is the first point. First, various conditions are produced in the body itself. Now, if it's an asata vednya karma, you will get disease. If it's a sata vednya karma, you will experience good health. So first part is body. Second, various types of external association acting as instrumental cause to the conditions of the body. Okay. So now it's supposing it's very hot. Okay. And you have got a AC in your home. Okay. So this external condition of AC is an instrumental cause of your body, right? So you are getting good comfort because there is so much hot outside, but you have a AC at your home. Okay. And supposing somebody is there who's not got AC, or even if he has got AC, but the current is not there, right? There is a load shedding, then what will happen? He will suffer, right? Because his asata vidya karma has come into rise, even the AC is there, all the facilities are there, but there is no current. So he is suffering, right? So it depends on the sata and asata vidya karma. Yeah. So this was body was first part. Instrumental cause related to that body is the second cause. And the third one is many associations of external things only are found. Okay. So three tier. One is the body, instrumental cause related to body, which brings comfort to the body, or if it's an asata rise of asata karma, then harmful objects will come into association. Okay. So that was the second part. And the third part is external things itself. Okay. So favorable and unfavorable external things are found. So then they have given, due to the rise of asata vidnya karma, hunger, thirst, respiration, ache, disease. Okay. So these are all at body level. Then the second, association of external objects like extreme cold and hot weathers, then wind, bondages, etc., acting as instrumental cause of disagreeable condition of body. So this was second part. The third part, association of foes, bad suns, etc., and molecules with bad complexions are met with externally. So due to more delusion, the feeling of disliking is caused in these objects. Okay. Only unfavorable conditions are not responsible for producing misery in yourself. Along with more, it becomes a cause of delusion. It becomes a cause of misery. Okay. Due to more, the feeling of disliking is caused in these objects. Okay. So similarly, when there is a rise of Sata Vedniya, there you get all the good associations in your life. Okay. So when some desires are getting fulfilled, you believe that you are a bit happy. But in reality, this is not true happiness. Okay. First, you were suffering at intense level. Now, because of the fulfillment of some desires, some passions has gone off. So you feel yourself to be happy. But that is not true happiness. Because misery subsided, so you feel happy. But it is not true happiness. Okay. Now the next paragraph. Next. This Sata also we discussed. Now coming on to the next. Further, next. Yeah. Further, from whatever happens to him due to rise of asata, he feels unhappiness. So he makes effort to remove it. And from him, whatever happens to him due to rise of sata, he feels happiness. So he makes efforts of retaining it. But this effort is false. Why? So again, 5 points. Firstly, nothing is under his control. Okay. Secondly, if by chance he makes effort, next paragraph, it is next paragraph. Yes. And if he, this is the second point. And if by chance he makes effort also and rise of Vedniya karma is also in congruence to it, okay, then for some time the cause of some particular type of asata subsidizes. And the cause of sata may arise. There also due to existence of moh, he becomes agitated by the desire of enjoying them. Was the second point, the whole paragraph. The third point, or earlier, next paragraph, there may be the desire of enjoying only one object in a particular manner. So long it was not obtained, till then its anxiety persists. And as soon as that enjoyment is over, the desire of enjoying it in another way arises. Example, someone wanted to see a woman. The moment he saw her, at the same moment, the desire of coition arises. What is this coition? Coition is sexual union. Okay. The desire of sexual union arises. And also while enjoying such kind of sensual pleasure, the anxiety of adopting other means is created. Then leaving those means, he starts adopting other means. So it goes on. Your desires are never satisfied. So this was the third point. Now the fourth point. It is not a fact that in making effort for obtaining wealth, a great degree of restlessness is experienced. This is the fourth point. Okay, great degree of restlessness is experienced in doing business and observing precautions for keeping it safe. Even if you have earned money, some amount, there is another anxiety to how to keep it safe, right? And where to invest. And I invested in this and I got less return, and there I would have got better return. All this goes on and on. Okay. Moreover, the rise of Asata Vedniya continues in the form of hunger, thirst, cold, and hot states of body, and secretion of excreta and phlegm, etc. from the body. Jeev feels happy by their removal. Is this happiness? It is simply a remedial measure of the disease. So long as hunger persists, hunger, etc. persist, till then the anxiety of removing them persists. As soon as one desire is fulfilled, some other desire crops up. Okay. So the same story. This is the fourth point. Now, the next page. Fifth point. Further, even the above mentioned state may not continue. While making efforts, one may have such rise of asata that none of his efforts may succeed. Whatever you do, you never will succeed. Because inherent cause is the asata vidniya karma is on the rise. So all your solution will be futile. Will not be able to find a solution to your problem. Okay. But one may have such rise of asata that none of his efforts may succeed, and it may cause severe agony. which may be unbearable. Then, due to his agitation, one may become distracted. There he feels extremely sorrow. So, in this world, now is the conclusion. So, in this world, the rise of Sata Vednya is very rarely found. You mark it down. So, in this world means the transmigration that we have been doing. Okay. Only Sata Vednya karma, that is because of auspicious karma, Sata Vednya karma is very rarely found to someone due to the rise of some punya karma, auspicious karma. Most of the jivas are found having the rise of asata vednya for a long time. Who is understanding this line? Most of the jivas are found having the rise of asata vednya for a long time. So, in this whole cycle of death and birth, okay, this transmigration from one species to another species, from one state of existence to another state of existence, most of the time you are having rise of asata vednya long time, and sata vednya is very rarely found. Okay, so therefore whatever efforts one make are false. Okay, so this line is very important. Why for a long time it is asata vednya? Can anyone give me a very logical answer? Open to all. Quick. Soumya?
We haven't realized the right faith, sir.
Pardon?
We have not realized the right faith. That's why.
No,
That's it.
I'm not talking about right faith or wrong faith. I am talking about the story. Since we are there since time immemorial, and we have been wandering, transmigrating in the four states of existence since time immemorial, and in that transmigration for a long time, asata vednya is there. Sata vednya is very rare. Why?
So may I try?
Sir, most of the transmigration, it is due to Asata Vedniya only that one sense, two sense, three sense, and four sense organisms take place. And in hellish kingdom also, Asata Vedni is the only thing that is
Prominent,
prevalent.
yeah.
So the avenues of Sata Vedni are very less. So most of the time is spent in all these yonis, and therefore Asata Vedni is most of the time the Jeev encounters.
Right. Himali, what do you want to say?
So I was going to say that we constantly have this asata vednya because of the constant rise of passions, sir. And it is only when we find that window that we had studied a few classes ago, when sata vednya arises, only in that small window that opens up. That is the only time when we have the rise of sata vednya.
Right. So, the Soumya answered it rightly. Our maximum time is spent in one sensed. How much time, I'll give you an example. If there is a total span of 100 years, example, okay? We are there from time immemorial, so there is no beginning, okay? And there is not going to be any end also. Soul does not give birth, or soul does not dies. It is eternal, okay? So, but considering the time that we have been wandering in these four states of existence from time immemorial, our maximum time is in one sensed being. So if we consider the total past journey as 100 years, example, how many years you are in one sensed being, you know? How many years? Anybody's guess? 99 years, 11 months, you are in Asata Vednya, one sensed being only. One sensed being, there is no rise of Sata Vednya. All the time it is Asata. Your lifespan is, in 1 second, you are taking 18 births and death. Keep on, and very long, right? So the rise of Sata Vednya is very rarely found. So in 100 years, 99 years and 11 months, it is only one sensed being. And all other 2 cents, 3 cents, 4 cents, 5 cents, and then 5 cents with mind all put together is 1 month. And in that 1 month, human life is only 2 days. Just 2 days maximum. That is also on the higher side that I'm talking about, So you see, most of the time we have rise of Asata Vednya only. Sata Vednya is very rare for some life, and for some period of time this is Sata Vednya. So this human life is itself a very big chunk of Sata Vednya, right? That's why we got a human life, otherwise we would not have got human life. Now after getting human life, the other associations that we have got, we are born in a Jain family, we have access to true God, true scriptures, true monks, we are interested in understanding the religion, and we have got the right means to understand it. These are all very rare. Okay, most of the time it is in one sensed being. I'll give you the page number 86 and 89. We are going to discuss this. When we discussed the miseries of a one sensed being, that time you will realize that for a long time we are in one sensed being only, not even two sensed, one sensed, and the maximum times goes in the lowest form of creation, nigod. It's a long period, and then by some luck, spate of luck, you come out of it. It's very rare. And then you go to one sensed, and then two sensed, then three sensed, and these are all very rare. Okay. So this is the conclusion. Very important, 3-4 lines. Again, I'm repeating these lines because it's very important. So in this world, the rise of Sata Vednya is very rarely found to someone, not to all, to someone due to the rise of some punya karma. Most of the jivas are found having the rise of Asata Vednya for a long time. Therefore, whatever efforts one makes are false. Okay. Now, further few discussions on this Vednya karma, and then we will end this Vednya karma. Okay. So, Payal, you continue reading. Or believing happiness from there.
Or believing happiness in unhappiness by association of external things is nothing but fallacy. It is obviously seen that happiness and unhappiness are caused due to the rise of Sata and Asata Vednya karma through the instrumentality of Mohaniya deluding karma. The person of possessing 1 lakh rupees feels unhappy by an expenditure of 1,000 rupees, and the person possessing 100 rupees feels happy by gaining 1,000 rupees. The external wealth of the former is 99 times more than that of the latter one. Or if the possessor of 1 lakh rupees is desirous of gaining more wealth, then he is unhappy. And if the possessor of 100 rupees has contentment, then he is happy. And on getting similar things, one feels happy, another feels unhappy. For example, on getting a coarse cloth, someone feels unhappy and someone feels happy. And on the rise of pain of hunger, etc. in body, disassociation of external favorite things and association of unfavorite things, someone feels more miserable. Hence, happiness, unhappiness do not depend on external things, rather on rise of asata karma, due to association of disposition of moh, happiness, unhappiness are caused.
So you see, the external things we are not dependent on external things. It is our Sata Vednya and Asata Vednya. So if we have a Sata Vednya, whatever association we get, we will always be happy. And if it is Asata Vednya, rise of Asata Vednya, even we have, example was given, a person who is having a 1 lakh rupees and he incurred a loss of 1,000, he is unhappy. And the person who has got just 1,000 rupees with him and he is content, he is happy. The former has got 99 times wealth more than him, but he is unhappy because external associations are not a cause of happiness or unhappiness. It is your own rise of Sata Vedniya and Asata Vedniya. Okay. And along with that moh, that is very deadly. Now the question. Continue with the question. Who will continue? Jia, you already read, no? So who is left over? Soumya, you read.
Yes, sir. Question about external objects used. Above statement is accepted, but on getting pain in body, one assuredly feels unhappy. Or on not having pain, one feels happy. This happiness, unhappiness appear to be dependent on the condition of body only. Answer. The functioning of knowledge of soul is dependent on senses, and senses are the parts of body. So whatever condition is produced in this body, the knowledge gets engrossed in knowing it. If moh bhav, deluding feeling, be also associated with it, then happiness, unhappiness is specifically known through the condition of the body. And when there be great attachment towards sun, wealth, etc., then one bears bodily pain and considers it to be less misery, and on becoming unhappy or on their association being lost feels more miserable. Whereas the monks, that is naked, positionless saints, do not feel any unhappiness even on having physical pain. Therefore, the feeling and believing of happiness and happiness is dependent on the rise of moha, deluding karma only. Mohaniya and Vedniya karmas have cause and effect relationship. That is why the feeling of happiness and unhappiness appear to be caused by the rise of sata asata. And mostly, the association of various external things is found due to the rise of sata and many others due to the rise of asata. Therefore, happiness and unhappiness appears to be caused by the external things. But on ascertaining thoughtfully, happiness and unhappiness is believed to be caused by moha, deluding karma only. There is no rule about happiness and unhappiness being caused by others. The rise of sata asata and association of external objects which are the cause of happiness and unhappiness is found to an omniscient Lord also. But due to absence of moha, deluding karma, he does not have even the slightest feeling of happiness and happiness. Hence, the feeling of happiness and happiness should be believed to be caused by moha only. Therefore, if one wants to end misery and wants to become happy by means of removing or keeping the associated external objects, then this means is false. What then is the right means? When delusion is destroyed by attainment of right belief, etc., then happiness and unhappiness do not appear to be arising due to the external associated objects. Rather, it appears to be arising due to one's own disposition only. And through the practice of real thinking, one should adopt such means by which in his dispositions he would not feel happiness, unhappiness being caused by external things and by the spirit of right belief, etc. only. Moha, that is delusion, may become feeble then such a condition develops that even on meeting with several external causes, one does not feel happy, unhappy. Then he experiences the real bliss by holding the state of serenity and imperturbability, and then by the end of all miseries, he becomes happy. This is the right means.
So you see, the external objects are not the cause of our happiness, unhappiness. First, it said that Vedniya karma, Sata and Asata, is the cause of happiness and unhappiness. Then he said that only Vedniya is also not responsible, along with Moh. Okay. So we come back to Moh. Moh, and that also Darshan Moh and Charitra Moh. So Darshan Moh causes wrong belief, right? So wrong belief is the root cause of all miseries. Okay. So Vedniya karma and Mohniya karma have a cause and effect relationship. Okay. So along with Moh, the Vedniya karma becomes a cause of misery. Without Moh, the Vedniya karma is not able to manifest any misery. Okay. As seen in Aryant Bhagwan. Okay. And also the example of monk was given. The monk have so much of pain, afflictions happening on him, but he is not unhappy. Okay. Three Pandavas, on them hot jewelry were being put on their head. And it was a kind of cruel torture, but they were happy because they were extracting the happiness from the connections that they had with the soul. Okay, so while extracting happiness, they were so much engrossed in extracting happiness that even the cruel torture that was happening on them, they never got disturbed. And the younger two Pandavas, they thought what would have happened to the elder brothers. Only that much worry about the elder brother led them to a long life in heavenly being. And these three never manifested any sentiments, okay, any emotions, and they got liberated. So it all depends. How do we take it, so the understanding, the more the understanding, the better you are equipped to apply these principles in your day-to-day life, and the better position you are to enjoy those situations. The situation may demand that you manifest passions, but your understanding does not allow you to manifest passions. That is the greatest advantage you have by understanding these concepts. You are in a position, there is a support system, right, which is working round the clock. Every day you are reading some Jinwani and you are understanding something. You are upgrading your knowledge every day, and that knowledge is with you all the time. Even if you leave this birth and go to the next birth, the same knowledge is going to come with you. Whatever decisions you have made, you carry forward in terms of spiritual journey, not in terms of CA and MBA, right? We have never seen a kid getting a birth and immediately started applying engineering or CA or whatever in their earlier birth. All those goes away. Okay, although Sarvsham Gyan does not carry forward, but what carry forward is the knowledge about the soul that you have acquired, that you have contemplated, that you have arrived at a decision. All these stays remain with you. So whatever efforts you are putting in, it's not for the present life. It's for your future journey, infinite births, okay, and getting liberated and then remaining there eternally. So each and every effort that you make in this direction is worth, what I would say, no value. It is all valueless. You cannot put any value to those efforts. So the right efforts, in terms of right efforts, is again right belief, right knowledge, and right conduct. Okay, so now three small karmas: Ayu karma, Nam karma, and Gotra karma. Okay, so again, Malti ji, you read.
Yes, sir. Misery caused by rise of Ayu karma and release from it. Holding life in the form of a particular embodied state, owing to the rise of Ayu karma, is aliveness, and end of that embodied state is death. Due to pervasive faith, etc., this Jeev experiences and believes the embodied form of existence, paryay, only as to be the self. Therefore, he believes his existence on being in embodied form and believes his non-existence on death. Only due to this reason, he always remains fearful of death, and due to that fear, the anxiety persists. He is very much afraid of those causes which he knows to be the cause of death. He becomes highly upset if by chance he comes in their contact. In this way, he remains very much unhappy. The means that he adopts is that he keeps the causes of death away from him or himself, runs away from them, and he takes medicines, etc., builds fort, boundary walls, adopts such various means. So, all these means are false because, on exhaustion of Ayu Karma, although he makes various efforts and many others may be helpful, nevertheless, death is certain. He does not survive even for a moment. As long as Ayu Karma is not exhausted, till then, even if various causes are met with, death does not occur. Therefore, death cannot be avoided by any means. The duration of Ayu ends without fail. Therefore, death also is bound to occur. Hence, making efforts for this is totally false. What is then the right means? When the belief of oneness in the embodied state is uprooted on attainment of right belief, etc., and by believing himself to be an external sentient substance, Chaitanya Drav,
Eternal,
developed-
eternal.
and by believing himself to be an eternal sentient substance, Chaitanya Drav, he develops oneness feeling in self-soul and knows present embodied state to be merely a disguise. Then the fear of death disappears. Moreover, when through right belief, etc., one attains the highest state of Siddhahood, disembodied omniscient, then the death ends forever. Hence, the right belief, etc., are only the right means.
So Ayu karma. So the present body that we have got, that will last only up to the end of Ayu karma. And when the Ayu karma comes to an end, we have to leave this body and get to another body, right? So this journey is coming, but because of delusion, because of wrong belief, we believe the body as to be our identity, right? This is not our entity. This is not our entity, right? Body is different from soul. They are both different substances, okay? But because of delusion, he believes to be body, okay? And the means he adopts that to keep the cause of death away, that is also not possible, because up to the age only you will remain here, okay? You may have the best of doctors, you may have the best of hospitals, everything there, but if your Ayu karma is over, you will not survive, okay? So whatever efforts that a human being, a mundane existent soul makes in terms of saving himself from the death is all futile, okay? All these means are false, because on exhaustion of Ayu karma, anyway you have to leave this body, okay? Death is certain, okay? You cannot survive even for a moment. So then what is the right means? With right belief, your oneness in the body ceases, and you feel, you realize your oneness with the pure soul that you are, okay? So when you attain right belief, you believe yourself to be a soul and not the body. And with right belief, right knowledge, and right conduct, this is the right means to get rid of all these karmas. Okay. So there will be no fear of death, because only the body changes. The soul does not die. Okay. So this is for ourselves and for our family members and near and dear ones. They are also soul. So there also their soul also does not die. They are also eternal, right? So there is no cause of crying after the near and dear one passed away. You know, for many days you are in depression, anxiety. No way. Just realize that everyone is here for a certain fixed period of time, and it cannot be increased or decreased. It will be the same time. When the time comes, everyone has to leave its body. Okay. So by understanding everything, you will become fearless. You will also become fearless, and you will be also fearless regarding others' existence. Okay. So, and with getting into this path of liberations, once you get liberated, then you will not you have conquered death once and for all. Okay. So hence right belief in etc. is the right means. Similarly, Nam karma. Nam karma and Vedniya karma are more or less same, because the both are aghati karmas and both work in similar fashion only. Okay. But still there is some discussions on Nam karma. Madhuji, you read the Nam karma. Will be able to read, Madhuji?
But I'm outside actually.
Okay, okay.
There's a lot of noise there.
Okay, Rekha, then read Rekha.
Sorry.
Misery caused by rise of Nam karma and release from it. Due to the rise of Nam karma, psychic making karma, Ghati state of existence, Jati class or group of alike beings and body etc. are created. Out of them, those which are created owing to the rise of punya, virtue, act as the cause of pleasure, and those which are created owing to the rise of pap, vice, act as the cause of misery. So it is a fallacy to believe happiness is in these conditions. And this mundane being tries to make effort of removing the cause of misery and getting the cause of happiness. So this effort is false. The real means is right belief, etc. In this context, for details, one should refer to the description given earlier under Vedaniya Karma. Because of the similarity of causation of happiness and misery between Vedaniya and Nama Karmas, the description of their effectiveness should be known to be similar.
Next also you read.
Yeah. Misery caused by rise of Gotra karma and release from it. Owing to the rise of Gotra karma, high and low status determining karma, one gets birth in high or low family. Therefore, on getting birth in family of high status, one considers himself to be high, and on getting birth in a family of low status, considers himself to be low. Since he does not know the means of change of birth is birth in high or low family, he feels oneness with the family status obtained by him. But to consider oneself high or low with regard to the family status is a fallacy. If someone of high family status indulges in mean activity, then he becomes low. And if someone belonging to low family status indulges in commendable activity, then he becomes high. Owing to the greed, passion, etc., many people belonging to high family status start doing the service of the people belonging to low family status. After all, how long does the family status exist? On termination of embodied form, the family status also changes. Hence, considering oneself high or low by birth, in family of high or low status, the person of high status family is afraid of becoming low, and one belonging to low status family is unhappy due to the lowness of the status obtained by him. By attainment of right belief, etc., not believing happiness, unhappiness to rise due to the higher low status is right means. And by the same means, he attains such a supreme and the highest state of Siddha, which never changes. Then all miseries end and he becomes perfectly blissful.
One more paragraph.
Yeah.
I'll complete. Thus, from the point of view of the rise of karmas, owing to the instrumentality of wrong belief, etc., only miseries and miseries alone are found in the world. Okay. So only 3 lines were there. So first of all, when there is a rise of nam karma, okay, which is called physic making karma. So physic, so nam karma is all related to body. Okay. So there is first one is gati, state of existence. So there are 4 states of existence: human, subhuman, heaven, and hell. Okay. Then we have jati, 1 sense, 2 sense, 3 sense, 4 sense, 5 sense. Class or group of alike beings. Then third is body. Okay. So similarly, there are 93 karma prakritis of nam karma. Okay. Physic forming karma. So others are bandhan, sangat, sansthan, sahanan, anupurvi, spars, ras, and those 20 attributes. Plus there are 10 pairs, like good looking, ugly looking, uh, auspicious, inauspicious, similar kinds of pairs are there, 10 pairs. All these makes 93 karma prakritis. Okay. So when due to the rise of this physics making karma and there's 93 subdivisions, okay, body etc. are created. Body and its relations, like if you will get a beautiful face or a ugly face depends on your nam karma. Okay. And we believe that she is beautiful, she is ugly, but no, the body's creation is because of nam karma. So nam karma is just played, and he or she is not the entity that you are looking at. Everyone is soul. This is the disguise that we are all covering. It's not our original role. We are playing a role, right? Out of them, those which are created owing to the rise of punya act as the cause of pleasure, similar to Vedniya karma. Okay, and those which are created owing to the rise of Pap karma are the cause of misery. So it is a fallacy to believe happiness in these conditions. Okay. And this mundane being tries to make effort of removing the cause of misery and getting the cause of happiness. So this effort is false. Then what is the right means? Right belief, right knowledge, right conduct is the right means. Then Gotra karma, high status and low status. So high status and low status is not according to the birth that you have taken, but by your deeds. Okay. A person may be born in a very low caste, okay, scheduled caste and all, but by deed, he's so honest, he's so intelligent, he's so disciplined, he's so ethical, and he's doing all the good things. Then although he is born to a low status family, low gotra, but still by his deeds, we will say that there is a rise of high status determining karma in him right now. So he is acting that. So the status does not depend on your birth, but it depends on the deed that you do. Okay. On termination of this embodied form, the family status also changes. Okay. So with the end of this life, your status also changes. Hence, considering oneself high or low by birth in a family of high-low status, the person of high status family is afraid of becoming low, and one belonging to the low status family is unhappy due to the lowness of the status obtained by him. So what is the solution? By attaining of right belief, not believing happiness, unhappiness due to high or low status is the right means. And by the same means, he attains such a supreme and the highest state of Siddha, liberated soul, which never changes. Then all miseries end and he becomes perfectly blissful. Thus, from the point of view of rise of karmas, different karmas we discussed, 8 karmas we have discussed, okay, owing to the instrumentality of wrong belief, delusion, only miseries and miseries alone are found in this world. So if you want to become true happy, if you want to become permanently happy, then you manifest right belief, okay. Now, the next point of discussion is coming up. The miseries from embodied modification. That means the body that you have acquired, okay? So those are 5 kinds of bodies. 1 sense, 2 sense, 3 sensed, 4 sensed, and 5 sensed. 5 sensed is divided into further 2. 5 sensed with mind and 5 sensed without mind. So all this, how they suffer, what kind of miseries they suffer in different 1 sense, 2 sense, 3 sense beings, that will be discussed in the next class. And that will be the second perspective that we'll be discussing. And then, of course, the last part of the discussion, 4 kinds of miseries. Okay. So that will be the last topic in this chapter, general characteristics of miseries. So hope to complete this miseries of 1 sensed beings to 5 sensed beings in the next class. And then we will have one more class on general characteristics of miseries. And that will be the end of this chapter. Okay. Then we will move on to the 4th chapter. So those who have joined late today, you should listen to the recording from the beginning itself. There was a discussion on the homework that I had given. So that was a very good discussion. It will help you in practicing discriminative knowledge. And make a habit to be 5 minutes before time. It's not when the class will start, I will join. As a discipline, as a good manners, you should join before 5 minutes. I join 10 minutes before the class, you know. So you should join at least 5 minutes before the class. You should be in the right frame of mind, and you should make this as a priority in your life, or everything else has to wait, you know, but this you cannot miss. Okay. So there are some discussions which when you are live, you are able to understand it better. And if you are missing out and if you are listening to the recording, you are missing 90% of the effect. Okay, I said 90% of the effect. So you have to be live. Okay, that should be the normal practice. But I know there are some always reasons where we cannot make it. But it all, again, it's a mindset. You have to just analyze, adjust, and just think on those lines to get into the right frame of mind. Okay, no problem. So we'll meet up next week. If you have any questions for today, we can still take it up. 1 or 2 minutes is still left. Otherwise, I'll do the Mangla Charan. Okay, fine. निज निधि निज में बताई, यह अनंत उपकार है। उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है। उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है। 9 times नमोकार मंत्र। बोलो दात सांगी जिनवाणी माता
Thank
जय जय।
Jai Jinesh.
you.
Thank you, sir.
Jai.
Thank you.